taking charge of the reins from Mike Miller.
Reading having a tough time penetrating against Hazleton area, so they go long ball.
Harris's shot is missed, and the rebound put up by Diaz-Cruz. I don't think that was a pass. That looked like a missed three.
First offensive rebound for Reading today.
And a turnover by the Cougars will give Reading the basketball and an opportunity to tie it up.
Second turnover by the Cougars here in the first quarter.
Again, my apologies for the squeaky voice. We will do the best we can. 2 minutes. First quarter, Damon Harris. Terry Kringy. You know, Kringy is only 6'2", but boy, I'll tell you what, he can do it out front as the point guard. He can get up, he can get you the rebounds when you have to, and he sure can play a lot bigger than that if you have to move him inside.
Finds himself in position to do a lot of things out there defensively, and that time he was the man right there for the rebound. Hazleton area now with a 9-4 rebound advantage.
This foul is going to go against Lamar Duncan, the 6'3" senior, as he and Brian Kunick tangled in the paint. No shooting foul, ball out of bounds. And Sharon Greenidge, G-R-I-N-N-A-G-E, he pronounces it Greenidge, as in a grin on your face. 6'4" sophomore, he is the transfer from Pottstown that we had talked about. Kunick goes to the basket, and Kunick will have an opportunity for the three-point play. Second personal foul on Lamar Duncan. To finish the thought on Sharon Greenidge, they say he changes the complexion of the Reading area lineup. They also insert now another one of the guys that has come off the bench for them, LeVar Johnson, a 6'1" junior. And Kunick completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way. It is Hazleton area with a 7-2 lead as we hit the 1-minute 20-second mark here in quarter number one.
Reading with two very well-known defensive players out there right now. Scoring average is down. Apparently they're going to try to put the lid on this and keep it very close.
Stripped by Kunick. Terry Kringy. No, but the foul is going to be called on Damon Harris. Terry Kringy said, I'm going to go head-to-head with the best defensive player in Berks County, and took it right to the hole. Watch this.
Here he comes with the left-handed dribble. You see Harris coming up defensively as Kringy switches hands and goes up with the shot. Harris picks up his first foul. That's 5 on the Red Knights from Reading here in the first quarter. First one rims and goes out.
Kunick is the only one who has solved the free throw line until now.
6-point lead with a minute to go.
And Damon Harris says, let's set the offense up. They want to finish the quarter on the up note. This is Greenidge. And a blocking foul called against Jason Potton. Potton will pick up his second personal foul. And Jason Potton, who is a very, very aggressive player on the boards, will be replaced in the lineup by Jason Mueller.
Second foul against him and his team. Reading will have the ball out.
Shot put up, hard off the rim. That was Greenidge who took the shot, and Kringy comes up with the rebound. 25 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of action. Hazleton area has been very patient, very disciplined And now with 10 seconds left, they put the ball in the hands of junior Terry Pringy. One-hander, no good. And with 2 seconds left, the foul is going to be called, and I believe it's Pringy that is going to pick up the personal foul.
22 got it. That's Terry Pringy.
He's such a controlled player that seldom does he ever find himself in foul trouble. Here at the buzzer, we're going to say the first quarter is done. We'll be back 8-2.
At Standard Drug, they're more than just another pharmacy. Standard Drug is a complete pharmacy service, offering 24-hour emergency service and free home delivery. They honor most third-party billing programs. And of course, Standard Drug carries a full selection of health and beauty aids and household items. They can also take care of all your card and gift needs, featuring memories of yesterday, Lucy and Me, Yankee candles, and music boxes. Don't forget to look for Standard Drug's monthly coupon booklet chock full of savings. Standard Drug, a family care pharmacy. McAdoo.
You're watching high school basketball playoffs on PCTN.
Texaco and Lehigh Gas and Oil, serving northeastern Pennsylvania.
The team that you played for up 8-2, what did you learn from Coach Schleib in your years here?
I think the most important thing he taught us was discipline. You know, to have that mental toughness to go out there and get the job done and do it no matter what, just get the job done.
I know you're going to Niagara now. How are things going there for you?
You know, it's a tough transition because, you know, I'm not accustomed to losing like we're doing up at Niagara. But, you know, if we keep working hard, you know, it'll pay off. The hard work will pay off.
Hassan, thanks for joining us, and I know you'll be rooting for Hazleton area for the rest of the year. Good luck at Niagara.
All right, thank you.
Hassan Abdullah joining us. Roger and Neil, it's in the back to you.
We've had some great thrills provided us by that young man, quality kid, doing a good job at the University of Niagara, and they are putting a lot of hope in their future in one Hassan Abdullah. Off the board, the running one-hander by Sharon Greenwich does not go, and we're going to have a foul called, and Greenwich will go to the line. He will shoot two, and the foul is going to be called on Jason Ewer. It's funny that Hassan would say that the thing that he learned from playing for Bruce Live was discipline, and that's something that we had alluded to several times during the course of the first quarter here, Neil.
He also mentioned the fact it's hard to get used to losing. That's one of the reasons that a lot of schools recruit players who come from discipline programs. They're trying to turn that around, and that's the character trait they look for. In many cases, they'll take the disciplined player over what may seem to be the better player statistic-wise.
Sharon Greenwich nails both free throws, 8-4, and now the Knights are going to pick up full court pressure here on the Cougars. Yeah, you look at 2 points being scored in the first half by Reading High, Neil, and you think that it was a slow-down game, but that was not the case at all.
They had their shots, but they weren't getting the repeat shots off the glass. Hazleton area came out with a 10-5 advantage off the glass that quarter, and that kept the Reading Red Knights from getting the second shot that they need.
Over the course of the years, many times Hazleton fans have referred to some of these local college gyms as their second home. This year, this could almost be the Cougars' second home. For many years, it was over at Kings. Here's Harris. Shot doesn't go. Greenwich underneath. I think we're getting a look at why they say he changes the complexion of the team.
That's the first offensive rebound for the Red Knights in the ball game, and he converted it to a two-pointer, drawing them within 2, 8-6.
Must be nice as a coach, as Kirk Singleton has experience, to have a player like Sharon Greenwich, only a sophomore, that can come off of the bench, and if you're behind 8-2, pick you right back up.
Well, a lot of times it's the placement of the player in the rotation, and he certainly has the abilities, I'm sure, to be a starter, but he can just add that little extra to the offense, and that's why they play him when they do.
And he was the man who came down with the rebound. They give it right back to him. He works against Cunick, puts it up, no good. Pringy, the Cougar rebound. Fans don't like the call. It was offensive and charged against Ryan Live.
His first. Both teams now have committed 5 personals in the opening half. There you're going to get a look at it as Live tries the behind-the-back dribble and runs into number 10, Damon Harris, known as the best defensive player in Berks County, and he certainly showed his form that way, standing there taking the charge.
Tierra Warren now in the Reading lineup. John Renwick works some magic, and this one is tied at 8.
Heads up pass by that time to Live underneath. Got the pass off, had a teammate under, quickly covered for the Red Knights.
Jason Potton replacing Jason Ewer back in the lineup as we give you another look at how you work underneath.
That's 22 Renwick. And what he did was he just used the defensive man as a post and went right around him.
That was the one that tied this one up. Greenwich for 3 and nails it. That's his 22nd three-pointer on the season. He has 7 points in the ballgame.
9-0 run right now by the Red Knights, coming from an 8-2 disadvantage to an 11-8 margin.
The steal, John Renwick. 1-on-2 break, left-handed, got the bucket. This afternoon's game being sent back on radio to WEEU AM. Coming up on 3:30 to play here in the second period. Here's Kunick. Kunick again, doesn't go. Kunick the third time, and he's fouled. Kunick would not be denied. He was up there 3 times. This foul being called on Greenwich, who picks up his first personal foul, and Brian Kunick will step to the free throw line. He will have a pair.
Kunick on the season, a 57% free throw shooter. First point of the quarter for Hazleton area.
Greenwich with the rebound. Greenwich over the course of the last several ball games has been working at a 14-point-plus clip. That's over the course of the last 9 games. And let's face it, when you're talking about the last 9 games, you're talking about tournament action and crunch time in your season. Mekarevich, the near steal.
Quick move by LeVar Johnson, number 25, got that ball back.
Coming to the glass, John Renwick with 6. And his team leads by that margin, 15-9. Foul called. And that was before the shot was put up. This has been one of the differences here for Reading.
See number 22, John Renwick with the steal, converting that into a basket. And the last personal foul came up away from the ball. And there you see Renwick, another look on him on the most recent basket that he converted.
Tierra Warren picked up the personal. Jason Potton here with a 1-and-1. Damon Harris. And LeVar Johnson called for the travel.
Took a little skip step just before he went into motion, and that was enough to cause the turnover.
Keep your eye on number 25, LeVar Johnson. They say he likes to play real physical defense.
Well, he's getting a lot of game time out there already, and he's only averaging 1.3 a game, so you know he's out there to do something with a defensive nature.
This game announced as a sellout And we're glad that if you don't have a ticket, that we can be your ticket to watch this one. Thanks for being part of our live television audience. Saturday afternoon, March 11th, right here at the Henry Gymnasium. A jam-packed house. You could tell that Hazleton area was coming to town. The traffic backed up off Blackman Street was horrendous. I know that. I got caught in it. Thank God for some back roads. It's the board. Renwick. And he picks up the foul. Brian Koenig will draw his first personal.
Here you're going to see Renwick go into the basket in traffic, stretch that ball as far out in his hand as he could, got the flip into the basket, and picked up the personal as well. Very impressive young ball player for Reading is John Renwick. He's a senior doing it all here today for them.
Very quickly, here's Ladd trying to answer. It doesn't go. Koenig up there to get it, and he answers.
Greenwich set up in the key, then came back outside. He's open.
Put this one up for three. Ryan Live with yet another rebound. We're under a minute to play here in the first half. Koenig, and the foul is going to be drawn inside. LeVar Johnson, I told you he likes to play physical that time. He put a couple of hands on Brian Koenig's back and the whistle underneath.
See the play underneath, and there's your defensive move by Johnson. There, of course, he has that innocent look. Who, me?
Some people would say that that is a quote-quote touch foul, but let me tell you what happens is the fact that many times to make sure that control of the game is retained, an official will try to talk you out of that one. Get your hands off, and if you don't, he blows the whistle.
Well, also the fact that it as a touch foul, yes, but what it does is it throws the offensive man completely out of position on his timing, too, and that gives an unfair advantage to the defense. So you may see harder contact that doesn't have the same effect sometimes.
My point in all that was the fact that a lot of times an official will try to talk you through a game. And if you don't heed the warnings, then you hear the whistle.
That's it.
So look, we're not going to allow the hand checking. We're not going to allow you to put hands on. Get them down, and if you don't, tweet.
Well, it's particularly interesting when you get into postseason play and officials from different areas where the interpretation of the rule may be just a little bit different in each district.
Damon Harris. This is the front end of a 1-and-1, and the Hazleton area fans wanted a foul on the rebound.
Red Knights coach Singleton uses 8 men, had them all in earlier. Now he's been going with this 5 unit now for about the last 4 minutes.
Jason Ewer up high to try to come down with a rebound. And Sharon Greenidge wins the battle up there. 10 seconds left to the hole. Damon Harris. Terry Kringy. 3, 2, 1. The shot's up. Losing it out. We are 1 half done. The Cougars, who led 8-2 1/4, now trail 20-11 at the half. We'll be back with the halftime show right after this.
When First Federal Savings started doing business back in 1935, our main intention was to offer our community new...
Live steps up and drills the deuce.
As you said, Roger, he stepped up and hit the deuce. He's been stepping up. He's been the go-to man in crucial situations the last second half of the season and in playoffs so far. It may be once again the burden that he bears here this afternoon, the pressure situations.
Kiara Warren out front. Greenidge on the baseline, forces it up, and Jamie excuse me, Jason Cotton up there to get it. Ahead, unit. And running area says we need a timeout. 20-15, Hazleton area with the momentum.
Whitehaven Collision meets the nicest people by accident. But it's no accident that Whitehaven Collision utilizes the most up-to-date auto body equipment and techniques to help speed.
Lays this one in, and Hazleton area has the first 4 points of the second half. The lead has been closed to 20-15. We go back to live action.
Red Knights content now to play with the ball on the outside.
Damon Harris stepped out of bounds before any contact was made, and Hazleton area will have an opportunity to close the gap here again.
Reading's first turnover was a 3-second violation. There you see him touching the line before he went down, and the 2 turnovers right inside would have equaled, if turned into baskets, the scoring by Hazleton area as they've come back by 4 points here.
Would have been no question of the contact on the last one, but if it happens after you're out of bounds, it's enough. Here's Green. Gary Spangler right there on the call and says it is Hazleton area basketball. Mike Diaz-Cruz about to come back into the Reading area lineup. Good. Come on. Terry quickly forces it up. It doesn't go, but he is fouled, and it will be called against T.R. Warren. That is Warren's second personal foul.
First foul in the half against either team. See the move here by Green as he goes to the basket. Ball did not drop that time. Sometimes you're lucky enough to get that drop to make it a 3-point play, but this time it'll be 2 shots from the charity line.
Gringy's 4th point of the ball game. He had 3 in the first quarter on a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and here converts them both 20-17. The Cougars have drawn to within a basket as long as it's a 3.
And the quarter belongs to them so far. They were down at the half.
They get all
20-11.
2 by Live, 2 by Kunick, 2 by Kringy. Good save by Cotton, and the Cougars on the run. Live goes to the hole, drops it out. Kringy doesn't go. Battle underneath, and the battle for the loose ball won by Mike Diaz-Cruz. As long as you keep getting those good high percentage shots, you got to feel in pretty good shape underneath. Foul is going to be called as Damon Harris went baseline, and the foul is going to be called on Jason Cotton. That is his 3rd personal foul. He picked up 2 in the second quarter, and we'll see what the coaching decision is here to leave him in or take him out. It appears as though he will stay. On the line here is John Renwick. Remember, this is the kid that's been to the line 176 times with that shot right there. He has 10 points in the ball game, 4 shy of his team leading 14-2 per game. Scored over 100 points from the free throw line this year. Cotton. Jason Cotton, the 6'3" junior, has nailed down his 36th field goal of the season and brought the Cougars to within a bucket at 21-19. A whistle underneath. Let's see who the foul is going to be on. Terry Kringy picks up his 2nd personal foul.
Reading ball under their own basket. This has to be the quarter that head coach Bruce Live was looking for. Defensively hold them down, get us back in the game. They've done that.
We told you LeVar Johnson likes to put the body on people. He just stood there and got called for the foul. That's his second personal. Apparently he is the Reading High version of Jim Luskatoff.
A lot of people are scratching their heads and saying, who?
Neil will explain that to you.
Because I'm older than you are, right? Luskatoff was a physical player with the Celtics when the NBA was an 8-team league and every game counted.
Kunitz called for the walk before the shot and the foul. And Luskatoff used to be brought in to put out the team's leading scorer, the opponent's leading scorer. He'd put you on your back a couple of times and wipe you out.
That was it. Here you see the move underneath and a walk called on number 33, Brian Kunitz. It's the first turnover of the third quarter for Hazleton area.
Damon Harris is wide right. We'll let the crowd reaction speak for their opinion. Underneath, doesn't go, Sharon Greenidge, and he's called for the walk.
Amazing how the reaction changed in about 8 seconds, huh?
This year, the PIAAA is highlighting sportsmanship through your part in respecting the rights of other spectators, the decision of coaches, and the judgments of officials. One person practicing sportsmanship is better than 50 people preaching it. This message brought to you and sponsored as a public service by the PIAAA. Just thought we'd throw that in at that time.
Sometimes things are apropos. Reading has been asking for a timeout. It had not been awarded. Now it is.
David Harris picked up the personal and we'll be back.
Whitehaven Collision meets the nicest people by...
Kurt Singleton, the head coach, says, Joe, come on. Says we've had walk, people banging on each other. I should tell you that this particular officiating crew is a very experienced college crew. I can also tell you that this is not really an easy game to work. Rod Strobel trying to explain now to the bench.
Whatever they're talking about has to be book rule because you can't get up unless you're asking for a timeout or waved in to check an injury.
Well, as it stands, the best we were able to sort out is Damon Harris picked up the personal foul, and the Cougars have the basketball. Here's tip up good Cotton. This game was tied once, I believe at 11s, back in the second period, and it is tied again at 21. The Cougars have battled back from a 20-11 halftime deficit. But Sharon Greenidge, who now has 9 points in the ball game, he came off the bench and hit 7 in that second quarter, in which the Reading Knights erased an 8-2 Cougar first quarter advantage, took a 20-11 lead into the locker room at the half.
Well, it's 10-3 Cougars this quarter.
Kringy goes behind the back, drops it back up. Revich. Makarevich nailing down his 43rd three-point goal on the season. And he's been quiet through this one. He's a kid that can get. Foul called on Jason Potton on the reach in. Watch Jason Potton go to work on this play off the boards. Here's Kringy on the drive.
Excellent drive, and you see the rebound and tip in right there. And that was the one that tied the game up. And then we had Makaravich getting loose in the outside on a nice pass from underneath, and he nets 3 right there to put the Cougars back in front.
And the Cougars with a 1-point advantage at 24-23.
First time they've been in the lead since the score was 11-8 after the tie was broken at 8-8 by Reading.
Greenwich has it stripped by Kringy. Rod comes up with a loose basketball and is taken away by Diaz-Cruz, who flips it to Damon Harris, who runs the floor, and Makaravich comes back and tips it out of bounds.
Then he went up to check some tickets as he knocked that ball up into the seats, went to see who's there and got the right seats. Heads up play by Makaravich to save that one.
Good hustle both ends of the floor. Makaravich nearly got up there to steal that inbounds pass, and now a foul is going to be called. And I believe it's Makaravich being called for the reach-in, his first personal of the game.
Here's that last play coming up as you saw Makaravich on the reach. Reading out behind the three-point line to clear that one.
To the basket, it doesn't go. The tip-up is good by Mike Diaz-Cruz. The turnover. To the basket, it's going to go. Is it? Are they going to wave this off? Let's wait and see. And the foul is going to go against John Renwick on the player control foul, his first. Nullify the basket. Keep in mind, no basket can be scored in high school ball on an offensive or player control foul. When that official puts his hand behind his head, you know the points are coming off the board. 15 seconds left as of now. That's in quarter number 3. The Cougars trail by 1. 8 seconds left. Kringy looks at the clock. Kringy moves to the hole and is going to be fouled out front by Mike Diaz-Cruz. And with 4 seconds left, the Cougars will set up an inbound play.
Second foul in the game in my sheet, if I'm right, for Diaz. Diaz-Cruz is a 5'10 junior for the Red Knights.
They lob to Kunick. Goes out of bounds. Still 3 seconds left on the clock. The PIAAA is looking for some good sports. Get off the bench and be a part of the action by becoming a PIAAA registered sports official. Call the PIAAA 1-800-382-1392. Here is live.
And we had a 3-point foul called after.
We will start the quarter with this one, I believe.
What matters to you when you think of college? Outstanding faculty who are caring teachers, academic programs that meet your needs, opportunities for undergraduate research and internships. The Penn State Hazleton campus offers a...
Sounded. He hit 1 of 2, and so, ladies and gentlemen, we begin the fourth quarter with this one all tied up at 25-25. Here's another look at the foul. You see he stepped inside the three-point line.
Ball was off the net, but the horn sounded, so no rebound would count. The official makes the rebound, and Ryan Leib gets to shoot 2. So we're tied, 25-25 with 8 minutes to go. And a big quarter by the defense of the Cougars as they once again held the Red Knights to single figures, only 5 points allowed as they scored 14 to tie this game up.
Cunningham CVCO would like to recognize a couple of their graduates playing in today's game, Robbie Makaravich and Jamie Kohler. Whistle is going to be blown. Underneath.
Foul is on 22. That'll be Terry Kringy, his third. 5 on Hazleton area in the half. Reading has committed 6, so the next one against Reading will be a 1-and-1.
Off the inbound pass, LeVar Johnson collects up 2. This game tied once in the second period, twice in the third period, and now once here in the fourth period. Kunick, turn around. Good.
2 to
Brian Kunick has just hit his average on the season. He averages 9.6. That was 10 points. Here's a look at the scoring by quarters. Pay particular attention to the second and third.
Look at the first, Hazleton's second, and Reading's third quarter as teams are being held way down in that situation. And we're not playing slow down by any means. It's a very physical game underneath.
Another whistle. Who is this one against? We'll find out for you in just a minute. Whistle blew underneath. And the foul is going to go against big Jason Ewer.
His third personal.
On the line, John Renwick. The Knights lead by 2. 6 minutes, 50 seconds remain in regulation. Maybe I needed that 5th pen. Kunick. Brian Kunick has just picked up the pace for the Hazleton area Cougars. Tied at 29, and he has really been a force underneath through this particular stretch.
Right now, Roger, he's the only man inside for either team that's able to get the ball and get that shot up and in on the first one. And that's a major factor here today because neither team is getting the second shot.
6 minutes left. Now it's Reading looking very much like the Hazleton area offense in the corner. The fans will pick that one up as LeVar Johnson launches the air ball. And you hear the chant. I don't know who started that, but it didn't take long for it to catch on, and it's hung around longer than it should have.
It's lasted longer than the wave has, that's for sure.
Yes, it did. Kunick, why not? Go to him. He puts it up the glass. It goes, and he's fouled. Get another look.
Ryan Live. There's the pass underneath to Kunick. Kunick goes up with the shot to hit the basket, and he's fouled. 31 rather, 29. Hazleton area on top with 5:20 to go. We've had a technical called on the floor. And now what they'll sort out is whether they're going to shoot the technical or the personal first, and it will probably be the personal
first, right? Kunick's got to finish this one up. That's booked. An explanation being given to both benches.
In the meantime, Kunick is standing by himself behind the three-point line. Definitely has an opportunity to cool off here, which he does not want. One of the cheerleaders had the basketball. It was like everybody was looking for the basketball, and one of the cheerleaders had it.
We're still not sure who the technical foul was against. Hazleton area does have the lead at 31-29. Now we'll see. Apparently the technical foul was assessed to Kunick. That is a guess on my part. Maybe we can have someone check. We'll see if we can do that. Damon Harris to the line. And the net result of this is we could be all tied up if Harris knocks this one in.
Well, they haven't posted on the scoreboard who the technical was against, and it is a personal foul as well.
Yes, and not only that, it gets assessed to the head coach in that particular situation. That is an example of a direct technical, and both the coach and the player picked that one up. From downtown, well short. Makarevich with the rebound of the missed Damon Harris shot.
Technical foul from the scorer's table was on Kunick, so that'll also be a personal.
Terry Kringy. So Kunick, according to our records, now has 2 personal fouls in the ballgame. Hazleton area with the lead at 33-31. Renwick out of bounds. Hazleton area basketball.
That's the second time the Red Knights have lost the basket by stepping on that out of bounds lane. Here you're going to see the move to the basket, trying to get around number 32, Rob Makarevich. Contact with the line already made, and Renwick turns it over.
Had to be the last step that did it.
Now Hazleton area with the 2-point lead and 4:15 to go. Will they spread out the floor?
Fouled.
Foul was on the floor, but it will be a shooting situation as we're in the bonus for both clubs.
Mike Diaz-Cruz picked up the personal. Kringy will go to the line. He is a 74% free throw shooter. Tierre Warren into the game for Reading. Kringy on the afternoon, 3 of 4.
I have Reading already taking 2 timeouts in this game, so they have only 2 left.
When it comes to crunch time, you have absolutely got to put faith and trust and confidence in this kid. He is the definition of stepping up.
It's the biggest lead the Cougars have had since 7-2 back in the early going of the first quarter.
The Hazleton area fans being treated again to an outstanding afternoon of basketball. Sharon Greenwich now with 11. We can't say enough about the Cougar following. Our hat is off in a salute to every one of the fans from the Hazleton area that has supported their team so well over the course of the years.
They got here very early today, even though it was a sellout and they had their tickets. They were here in plenty of time. Foul underneath in the paint away from the ball, Roger.
And it's going to be called on Sharon Greenwich, and that, I believe, let's see, wait a second. They're still looking for the number. Now they're going to flag Kunick. That's what I thought in the beginning, but he put up 21, and that would have sent it the other direction. So we got it all sorted out now. Brian Kunick with his 3rd personal foul. Scoreboard officially confirms the fact that he had been credited just a few moments ago with the T.
Jason Potton back in the game for the Cougars with 4 personal fouls.
Greenwich puts Reading up by 2. He's 4 for 4 from the line. Excuse me, we're tied up.
Any personal foul will be shot. Both teams are in the bonus.
3 minutes to play. Terry Kringy beats Damon Harris, and Harris will pick up his 4th personal foul. Right now, Damon Harris has got to be saying to himself, this kid is something else.
He was given the award as the best defensive player in Berks County this year. He's got 4 fouls. He's got to play very careful defense the rest of the game.
Kringy with 10 points in the ballgame. 11. This place has been sold out, as we had mentioned, largely in part to the tremendous Cougar following But in the event you didn't have a ticket to get into this one, we thank you for watching it here on PCTN. Glad to have you along for yet another high school basketball playoff. The walk out front, says Gary Spangler. And the Cougars.
After the walk, he ran into a wall named Kunich.
He lost the basketball. That's what happened. He saw Kunich standing there. Kunich didn't give in and juggled it just a wee bit.
Jason Cotton came all the way to the Hazleton area bench to get a towel to wipe up a perspiration mark right there. Now they're ready to go.
The Cougars with a 2-point lead. The clock at 2:30 here in the final stanza. Maybe.
Awful close to the final score last Saturday, 38-35 in overtime for the Cougars. We're 37-35 with 2:20 to go.
Cougars are going to shorten this one up if they can, but keep in mind if they get an opening, they will take you to the hole.
Tough situation for Reading, too, because every one of those three guards that play out on the outside are good free throw shooters.
Especially the man with the basketball. Ryan Live shooting almost 92%. Phenomenal. LeVar Johnson picks up the personal foul. We said he likes the physical game. Now, here's the thing. When you get a kid like LeVar Johnson, depending upon where the officiating crew might come from, they can interpret that a whole lot differently and allow sometimes the little bit of hands-on physical contact. That has not been the case here. It's been a very consistently called game all day long.
My experience has been Reading, Roger, as close as you get to the big city areas like Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, New York, you see more contact. You get away from it.
That's right.
It's a lot less contact. It's the playground influence that comes into the game.
A District 1 officiating crew works a whole lot differently than others. For example, this time LeVar Johnson comes down with a rebound and Ryan Live will pick up the personal foul, only his second. But both teams now in the shooting situation. LeVar Johnson has not been to the line very often this year. He's 9 of 12. That'll put him at 75%.
1.3 per game average.
He will have the bonus here. He can tie it with this shot with 1:19 left. He does not. We are on the so-called odd. The Cougars still with a 1-point lead. Winner here advances to play the winner of the Lower Merion Whitehall game going on as we speak at Plymouth White Marsh High School.
There's why those timeouts come in so handy.
Exactly 1 minute left to play. 37-36, the Cougars, they have the ball.
When you care enough to serve the very best, choose PIAAA Dairy Products. Produced right on the PIAAA farm, PIAAA's Dairy offers a full line of first-quality dairy products. PIAAA's Dairy farms 500 acres in the Cunningham Valley to custom grow the feed for their 400 dairy cows. They produce the milk right on the farm to ensure you get only the freshest product. PIAAA Dairy Products are available at the PIAAA Dairy Store just off Route 93 in Drums or at many fine stores throughout the Hazleton area. Baby Top Milk. It's so good.
You're watching high school basketball playoffs on PCTN.
It's unbelievable.
What is, Diane?
You won't believe it.
Believe what?
Bill Gray & Sons Furniture World, Route 11 in Berwick. Would you believe you can get anything you want for your home, and the prices and selections are second to none? They have been in business for over 40 years with quality furniture and the most unique accessories in 4 full floors, plus a huge warehouse loaded with all kinds of furniture. Bill Gray & Sons Furniture World, Route 11.
1868, Hazel Drug is one of America's oldest pharmacies and Hazleton's oldest, offering free delivery to a limited area with 2 locations to serve you. 1 East Broad Street and the Center City Medical Complex, Hazleton. Hazel Drug.
The Foul was called on LeVar Johnson, his fourth, and to the line will go Jason Patton. Patton has missed 3 front ends of 1 and 1, and the foul here is going to be called on John Renwick, who picks up his second personal foul. And Kunick this time will step to the strike.
He's been a stalwart here in the second half for the Cougars, particularly in that third quarter when they outshot Reading 14-5 to get back in this ballgame.
And that is going to go off LeVar Johnson. Rob Mecca-Levens with outstanding hustle right in front of the Cougar bench. Managed to tip that one back in, and it went off the chest of LeVar Johnson. Right in front of us. 30 seconds left. The Cougars lead by 1, 37-36. And the foul out front by John Renwick, who picks up his third. And Rob Makarevich will step to the free throw line. Makarevich, an 81% free throw shooter. There have been a lot of 1-and-1s missed. But not this time. Hazleton area has missed 6 front ends of 1-and-1 situations. Bringing the follow! Greenwich to follow. It's no good. Patton the rebound, but it goes out of bounds. 10 seconds are left. Hazleton area with a 4-point lead, and Reading area says we need timeout.
Texaco and Lehigh Gas and Oil, serving northeastern Pennsylvania for over 70 years. Choose from a complete line of quality industrial, automotive, and home heating products. We also specialize in high-performance, race-proven Haviland Formula 3 motor oil.
The turnovers all evened up, but on the scoreboard right now it is Hazleton area by 4, but the Reading Knights have the basketball. They launch for 3. It does not go. Rob Makarevich could not hang on. 5 seconds come off of the clock. So it is now a 2-possession ball game, assuming no foul on a 3-point made shot. For 3. Doesn't go. Patton the rebound. And a foul called on Sharon Greenwich. The Cougars are going to advance. Jason Patton went up there to make sure that there was no chance for the ball to be put back up.
He's been in this game since the 4-minute mark, and when he came back in here with 4 minutes to go in the game, he had 4 personals on him. He's been right there in the thick of it, but he's played it very safely, not picking up that 5th. 1 second to go.
This one is all over. That's it. The Cougars advance to the second round of interdistricts. They will play the winner of the Whitehall Lower Merion game, which is also being played this afternoon. The Cougar fans, perhaps the 6th man.